I'm George Hollick. I'm in the Department of Psychological Sciences. And we had sort of a different experience. I can share a little bit about my experience as well. Psych 120 is our introductory psychology class. It teaches about 2,000 students a semester in 4 classes of 500 people each. Large lecture, giant kind of thing. And they're good. I mean, I enjoy the lecturing aspect of that. You'll see I'm kind of a performer. It's fun, it's interesting, but I always felt in that large lecture sort of format that you're the dancing monkey on the stage for the students. That basically you're there to entertain us. And it's just like Tim said, when they walk in, their eyes glass over. Maybe some of them are awake, some of them are playing Angry Birds or on Facebook or something like that, but there's definitely a lack of student interaction. And I just wanted to share 3 main things that came out of this impact process for me. One of which was the chance to rethink from the bottom up what you do with your course, what your learning goals are. And it's funny, we don't often get a chance to do that because I go in and, I'm concerned about doing a good performance, making sure the students learn, making sure they're interested and excited, and that wasn't really happening. And then I realized that part of what we want the students to do is actually learn this material, to know how to apply psychology in daily life. So maybe large lecture isn't the best way to do that. Maybe instead of being the dancing monkey on the stage, maybe they should get involved and active. And we had already come up with this, we'd heard about this hybrid course idea that 500 people in a class, it's a little hard to get any kind of back and forth interaction going. In fact, as I said, psychologically speaking, you'd almost have to be pathological to say anything in a 500-person class. And we know a few of those students. They're the good ones. They raise their hand every class, and pretty soon everyone else groans when they raise their hand. That's not the kind of interaction we want. And so instead, we decided to do, much as Tim did, record 2 hours of lecture online, and then have the students come into much smaller sections, 1 hour a week. But these are smaller sections, Higgs 848, very interactive, chance to apply the knowledge that they're learning online. And 2 interesting things happened from that. The first was that they actually liked us better online, which seems a little counterintuitive when you think about it. But it turns out some students miss things when they're writing it down. Some students, especially English as second language students, might not get it all the first time. And having a chance to re-watch it, to look over it, to be able to hit the pause button, which they can't do live, is really informative to them. And they actually like the lectures. Plus, we can build in interesting interactive kind of examples and things that they wouldn't get online. And the one other thing we give them online that they can't do in class is closed captioning. So for accessibility issues, even especially the English as second language students, they can get it in their own language too, which helps them get the content at least, rather than material. So they can actually learn this stuff on their own time, at their own pace, and they really, really liked it. And then in that case, when they come into class, I will never forget the first time I walked into one of these classrooms. Psych 120, I'm used to seeing a sea of faces in front of me, 500 people. The first classroom I walked into had 20 students in it. You're like, wow, this feels like this is a classroom seminar. This is an upper level advanced class. I get to know the students. I get to walk around and talk to them as they work through these activities and ideas. And it was just, that's when I knew that, yeah, there's going to be some issues getting this together, but this is the right way to go. Because these students, they're engaged. They're not sleeping. They're actually learning something. And we've also on the test, they scored about the same as before. Some of them actually a smidgen higher potentially as well. So that has been good. And so one thing is the chance to rethink things from the bottom up. The second is the chance to have a group, a cohort of people who are going through this at the same time. And that's the big one, because when you're struggling along, saying, is this a good idea? Having that support of another group, having that support of people who've done this before, who've made some of those mistakes, is just so, so invaluable. And the last thing I'd say, it's never finished. Just be aware of that. Don't try to do it all at once. Just know that if you set the process of, here's what our goal for this class is, we can make it better each and every semester. And we now have in place the learning outcomes and the way of measuring and seeing that they're getting better. Now it's a process of continual improvement, just like we do in our research. And it's been really, really fascinating in that way as well. Thank you.